Have you ever wondered if a whole country has a giant birthday party? Well, in France, they do. Every year on July 14th, something super special happens. It's a day filled with cheers, bright colors, and lots of happy people. Imagine a day when everyone feels extra proud of their country and wants to celebrate together. This day is a very important holiday for French people, just like the 4th of July is for kids in America. It's a time to remember brave people and big changes that happened long, long ago, making France the country it is today. It's a day marked on every calendar in France, a day of sunshine and smiles. This super special day is called Bastille Day. In French, they say La Fête Nationale, which means the national celebration. Isn't that a great name? It's a day when flags wave proudly from buildings and the colors of France blue, white, and red are absolutely everywhere you look. Think of it as France's very own amazing festival, a time when families and friends gather to share joy and remember their history. People look forward to it all year long, planning how they will spend this wonderful day. It's a public holiday, so schools and shops are closed, allowing everyone to join in the fun and festivities. So, why is July 14th such a big deal? Well, it's all about remembering a very important time in French history called the French Revolution. This was a time many, many years ago when the people of France wanted things to be fairer for everyone. They wanted more say in how their country was run. Before this time, kings and queens had all the power, and not everyone thought that was the best way. The French Revolution brought about huge changes, and Bastille Day marks a key moment in that journey towards liberty, equality, and fraternity. Those are big words that mean freedom, fairness, and friendship for all people in France. Bastille Day is therefore a celebration of freedom and the spirit of the French people. It's a day to honor the courage of those who stood up for what they believed in. Imagine the feeling of excitement and hope that filled the air back then. Today, that same feeling is remembered with happy celebrations. It's a reminder that even ordinary people can do amazing things when they work together. This day is a symbol of the French spirit, strong and full of life, a day to look back with pride and forward with hope for the future of their beautiful country. Now let's travel back in time, way back to 1789, in the busy city of Paris. In the middle of this city stood a very large, very old, and really scary-looking castle called the Bastille. It wasn't just any building, it was a prison. For many people in Paris, the Bastille was a sign of the king's power, a place that reminded them the king could do almost anything. It had thick stone walls and tall towers, and it looked dark and sad. People whispered stories about it, and it made them feel worried and sometimes even scared. It showed that people felt they couldn't make their own choices. At that time, King Louis XVI was the ruler of France. Many people were unhappy with how things were going. Food was expensive, life was hard for ordinary families, and they felt that the king and the rich nobles didn't understand their problems. The people wanted more fairness and a chance for a better life. They started talking about big changes, about having a government that listened to everyone, not just the rich and powerful. This growing feeling of wanting change was like a rumble that grew louder and louder all over Paris and across France. So on that famous day, July 14, 1789, a large crowd of Parisians, ordinary people like shopkeepers, workers, and artists, decided they had had enough. They marched towards the Bastille. They weren't just going for a walk, they were ready to show how they felt. They wanted to get gunpowder stored inside the Bastille to protect themselves. But more than that, they wanted to show the king they were serious about change. It was very brave and very daring, as the Bastille was guarded by soldiers, and it was a sign of the king's power. The crowd stormed the Bastille. After a long and exciting fight, they managed to take control of the castle. This was a huge shock to the king and his helpers. It showed that the people of France were no longer going to accept the old ways. The storming of the Bastille became a powerful symbol of the people's fight for freedom and the beginning of the French Revolution. It wasn't the end of the fight, but it was a very important first step, a sign that a new story was beginning for France, a story where the voices of the people would finally be heard. So, how do French people celebrate this super important day now? Well, it's a huge party all across France. One of the most famous celebrations happens in Paris, the capital city. There's a giant parade with soldiers that marches down a famous street called the Champs-Élysées. Imagine soldiers in smart uniforms, horses trotting proudly, tanks and cool vehicles rolling by, all while the president watches. High up in the sky, jet planes zoom past, leaving trails of red, white, and blue smoke, the colors of the French flag. It's an amazing thing to see, full of pride and old customs. But the fun isn't just in Paris. All over France, towns and villages have their own celebrations. Many places have smaller parades with local kids from school or town groups marching. A popular thing is the Bal des Pompiers, which means the firemen's ball. Fire stations open their doors and have big parties with music and dancing. It's a chance for everyone to get together, laugh, dance, and celebrate with their local heroes, the brave firefighters. These parties are full of fun times with everyone in town. And what's a celebration without food? Bastille Day is perfect for picnics. Families and friends pack baskets filled with delicious French treats. Can you imagine biting into a crispy baguette or tasting yummy cheeses, sweet cakes, and fresh fruits? People gather in parks, by rivers, or in their own backyards to share these lovely meals. It's a time for being together, for sharing stories and enjoying the sunshine. You can hear everyone happily chatting on this special national holiday. As day turns into evening, the excitement builds for another tradition, fireworks. All across France, the night sky lights up with bright flashes of color and loud booms. The biggest fireworks show is at the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Imagine reds, blues, whites, golds, and greens bursting into beautiful patterns. People ooh and ah as fireworks paint the sky. It's a magical end to a very special day, a reminder of the fun and freedom that Bastille Day means for all French people. Guess what? The fun of Bastille Day isn't just for people in France. All around the world, French people and people who just love French stuff also join in the celebrations. You might find Bastille Day parties in cities like New Orleans in the United States, which has a lot of French history, or in parts of Canada where French is spoken. These parties might have French music, yummy French food like crepes, and maybe even people dressing up in blue, white, and red. It's wonderful to see how a special day for one country can be shared and enjoyed by people in so many different places. Learning about holidays like Bastille Day is like opening a window to another part of the world. It helps us learn about how other people live, their history, and their special ways of doing things. When we learn about how other people celebrate, we discover new things and see how much we all have in common, even if we live far apart. It's like taking a little adventure with your mind, exploring new places and meeting new friends through their stories and celebrations. Each holiday has its own cool story, and learning these stories can make the world feel a little bit smaller and a lot more interesting for everyone. So, how can kids everywhere celebrate or learn about Bastille Day? You don't have to be in France to join in the spirit. Maybe you could try making a simple French snack, like a fruit pie, or listen to some cheerful French music. You could even try learning a few French words like bonjour, that means hello, or merci, that means thank you. Or perhaps you could find a book or a cartoon that tells a story about France or the French Revolution in a fun way. Any little thing you do to explore another culture is a wonderful way to learn and grow. Exploring world holidays and traditions is so important. It teaches us to be curious, to be nice to others, and to see how cool and different everyone in our world is. Every country has its own special days and fun ways to celebrate, full of history and important stories. When we learn about them, we can understand and be friends with people from all over the world. So let's keep exploring, keep learning, and keep celebrating the many wonderful ways people live and share joy all around the globe. It makes our world a brighter and more friendly place for all of us.